Today, we'll be having a very esteemed guest in our midst. Getting her schedule or bringing her here online is a very tough one for us, but I so appreciate the fact that we're able to get her to join us today. We have with us Engineer Nkiru. So Engineer Nkiru is a project manager in Bosch, located in Germany. She has a lot of experience with the German system, and also she went to Germany as a student, and now she's living in Germany and also working as an engineer. So today she's going to tell us her experience. We're going to ask her some questions about her life in Germany, how she managed in Germany from transiting from student life down to professional life. She's going to let us know about how those things came to pass. Those of us online, please, when you have any question, you can bring up your question. You can type your question on the comment section. So this is an opportunity for you to know about Germany and also learn about Germany. Engineer Nkiru, we are so curious because we know that the German system is a very, very robust system. Their educational system is robust. So we want to know how accessible is the German educational system to international students, especially Nigerians?
The German education system is accessible to international students, Nigerians inclusive. And Germany has made it quite easy because there are wide ranges of programs which one can do, and they're also offering programs, a lot of programs now.
That's the German system, so which means the German system is open for accessible to international students, right?
Yes. It could be a bit challenging because lots of other international students also want to come in, so this could make it competitive, but then one has to really check what program one wants to do and the requirements, and actually be very careful and thorough in the application system to improve your chances.
Okay. You just answered the second part of the question, which says that how competitive is the admission process? Maybe you could say a little bit about it. How competitive is the admission process for international students going to Germany?
Yeah, it could be quite competitive, given that lots of people want to come to Germany because of the benefits there. Most schools are also tuition free, so it makes it attractive. So, and if they offer a lot of program in English, so this makes it attractive. But then it also makes it competitive. One, Germany requires kind of high education qualification system. So for people coming for bachelor's, you need something equivalent of Abitur. It's called Abitur in German. So A level, something similar to that, or maybe people that have already studied first year in the university, and then this could qualify for it. If not, if you're coming just from O level, which we have in Nigeria, then you would need to do kind of Abi, student colleague. So one more year where you study and you do some classes, and then you have to take exam and pass. So this higher education qualification is one of the requirements which you need to get into the bachelor. For masters, if you already did your bachelor's, then you already have bachelor's as a qualification. They also need some kind of English proof or German proof, depending on if your studies is in German or in English. So if in English, you need TOEFL or IELTS to show, and test of English, or German, you need also to show your proof of German.
Okay.
And yeah.
Perfect. You talked about some requirements. So are there entrance exams? Like for students in Nigeria that want to study in Germany, are there entrance exams or specific requirements for bachelor's or master's degree programs? Are there any?
Yeah, some universities require entrance exams for undergraduate studies, so for bachelor studies. I know Uni Stuttgart, where I studied, they require this. Uni Freiburg or Technical University of Munich, they require this for undergraduate. But for masters, I'm not so sure. At least in my school, I studied in Uni Stuttgart, I didn't require it for mine. So it depends on also the program. When one goes to the website and checks the requirement, then the person will see. But for undergraduates, like I said, most universities require this.
Oh, okay. So if I get you clearly, like most universities require entrance exams or
entrance exams. So you need to take for bachelor. Yes, for bachelor.
Oh.
So, but for masters and also bachelors, you need, depending on if it's in English or in German, you need a test of English or a test of German, a proof of German language. So for English would be IELTS or TOEFL, to show your proficiency.
So which means it is possible to study bachelor's in English while you reside in Germany. It's possible, right?
Yes, my brother did his bachelor's in English.
Oh, and you did your master's in English. So which means it is possible to study in English. Oh, okay.
Of course.
Okay, that's awesome. Wow, that's good to know. Because generally, from the outside, people think that that when you mention Germany, that they teach in German. So people believe that everything is in German. So it is good to know that it's not in German. They can also learn, you can also study in Germany in English. That's good
Yeah,
to
of
know.
course, it depends on the program. So some are purely in German, some are purely in English, and some are mixed. So English and German. And some of the undergraduate studies for English, as a bachelor's in English or master's, some of them require that you show a proof of German before you graduate. So you have, I don't know, 6 semesters or 7 semesters, but before then you should show maybe B1 German or something. But it gives you have about 2-3 years or 3.5 years to be able to get that level of German, and submit it before you graduate.
Oh.
Purely in English, but then he needed B1 before he could do his thesis.
So this part is the most important part because as Nigerians, major issues we normally have is finance. So the ability to finance our studies whatsoever is always a problem. So we've been hearing about this block account. What is block account? Can you try to throw some light about it? What is block account?
So block account simply means that you open German account and you lock a lump sum in this account, and you're not able to touch or access this money till you've reached Germany. And when you come into Germany, they unblock only a portion of this money. So currently, the amount for the block account is about, I think, is 11,900 and something. Yeah, 904 euros. And they block this amount for you. It's supposed to be like for your upkeep, your monthly upkeep for one whole year. And every month they unblock 1/12 of it, and you have access to this money. Afterwards, you have to wait for the next month for another portion is unblocked.
Wow, so which means a certain portion is allowed for you to use every month, and by the end of the month,
Exactly.
okay, if you finish that money, you're on your own. Oh,
You're on your
okay,
own, yeah.
okay. You have to wait for the next month. You talk about the block account. Do you think, is there any alternative? Let's say, for instance, like as Nigerians, I can afford the 11,292 euros to
No,
be able to.
11,904 euros.
Oh, 11,904 euros. Okay, good. So thank you for correcting me. So if I can afford that amount and I want to study in Germany,
Yeah.
right? Because definitely that amount is needed as a requirement to apply for visa to be able to travel to Germany for my studies, right? So if I don't have that huge sum of amount,
Yes.
is there any alternative way with which I can be able to replace that monetary part of it?
Yes, there is also an alternative to find to use a guarantor's form. So this simply means you find someone who can vouch for you and sponsor you. The person has to go to the German embassy, fill your information, and say that can vouch for you and he will sponsor you. So with this Verpflichtungserklärung in German, so it's letter of formal obligation. With this form, you can go for your visa instead of the block account.
Oh, wow. So that makes it easy. So it means if I have an uncle or if I have somebody that can vouch for me, the person just have to go to the German embassy, right? And then fill a form and represent, kind of like tell them that he or she will take care of me as a student. So with that, they can waive the 11,000 something euros and also only focus on the guarantor's form. Am I correct?
Exactly, but there are also requirements for the guarantor. So, this person has to provide his or her payslip and to show that he's actually able to do that, not just saying, I will take care of this person. You have to show that you have the financial capabilities to do so.
Okay.
And if you submit the documents required, so there are a list of documents, if person submit, you have to come in empty-handed with sort of money to take care of yourself when you're in Germany.
Yeah, of course, definitely. If I'm traveling to Germany and I have someone that is able to sign for me, that he or she will take care of me, of course, I can't travel to Germany empty-handed. Definitely not. All I need to look for will be my flight ticket and some other little money, and that is fine, right? But then I'm also wondering, does that person that need to vouch for you, right? Must that person reside in Germany, or the person can reside somewhere else?
I think the person can reside somewhere else. Although I don't know if the rules have changed. I came in 2013, and then I used also this means to come in the guarantor's form, and it was my uncle living in the US that helped me do this. So he went to the German embassy in US and he told them what he wanted to do. They told him what he needed to bring, the documents and all, and he was able to do this for me. So it depends on the person's stay, the person's accommodations, if he qualifies to do this. But if it still remains the same, if nothing has changed in the last years, then Germany can also do this for you.
Can also do it. Okay, perfect. So because if someone, like
Yeah.
you mentioned now that your uncle did it for you, your uncle vouched for you, and your uncle reside in the US. So definitely it means if someone in the US can do it, it means somebody in Canada can also do it. If I have an uncle in Canada, I think so. I'm just hoping, I'm just feeling that it's possible because
Yeah,
it's possible.
yeah, you have to, the person just has to check the possibilities. I mean,
Okay, but at least it is very important. It is the good news there is that there's an alternative to jump past the 11,000. That is the good news there. So there's an option to
I
jump past the
know,
11,000. That money
I
is too
know.
much. That money is
Yeah,
way too much.
it's a lot
It's
of
a lot of
money.
money, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then that comes to my questions. Are there tuition-free opportunities for undergraduates and graduates international studies in Germany?
Yeah, there are. I studied in Stuttgart, which is in Baden-Württemberg state, and when I studied, it was free of charge. There was no tuition free. Now it's 1,500 a semester for non-EU students. Also in Bavaria, my brother studied in Bavaria. Bavaria, it's where Bayern Munich is, and this state also wasn't charging money until recently. So it's just started this year winter semester. So 2024, 2025 session, they start charging fee.
Okay,
Also
okay.
in Munich. But there are other schools, other states where they are tuition free. They still don't charge for the public universities, of course. And this fee they're charging is usually for non-EU
Non-EU
students.
students. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So for instance,
But
Nigerians.
if you're non-EU, but you've studied in Nigerians are not EU, yes. So if you've done your bachelor's in Germany before and you want to do your master's and you're doing it in Munich, for example, you have an exemption because you've studied in Germany before, so you can be exempted. But if you're coming fresh from Nigeria and you want to study in Baden-Württemberg or in Bayern, then you have to pay school fees per semester. 16 states in Germany, so you can explore the other schools,
Okay, okay. So in
the
general,
other
it's
14 states. Yeah.
the other 14 states. So I think so. For what you said in general, majorly most of the public universities they offer tuition free. Most of them, and there's it's just the
Exactly.
state universities that don't really offer a lot of tuition free, right? If I got you right.
No, I mean, my school is also a public university. I said generally the public schools
Okay.
are free, tuition free, but each state has the autonomy to choose if they want to charge students for school fees.
Okay, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
get it now. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. All right, so then talking about tuition free, so what type of scholarship? Do you have any idea? Because definitely, trust me, as Nigerians, we'll always go for the least expensive option. That is for sure. That is for sure. So then, talking about that, what are scholarships that are available for Nigerians that want to study in Germany?
Yeah, so there are a couple of scholarships available. There is the Deutsches Stipendium, yeah, like German scholarship if I do literal translation.
Mhm.
There is also DAAD scholarship. They could cover full tuition and give you also some pocket money for your monthly upkeep. There is also the KAAD, and there are also university-specific scholarships. So there are actually a number of options out there, but most of them require outstanding academic performance. So your academic performance has to be really very good, and some also require some sort of, I know like this KAAD. It's a Catholic, it's given by the Catholic things in Germany. So they need this outstanding performance from your education. They also need that you're a Catholic or you show some sort of how do I say it? You show willingness to interact or to contribute to religion.
Activity.
And you also have to show one level of German, so they need some kind of German proficiency.
Okay.
And community service, that you also engage in community, that you've done a lot of contribution to the community. You have to show proof of this. So they have their requirements, what they need, but there are options out there. One just needs to go into the website, look at the requirements they need, and see if you meet those requirements.
Okay, perfect. So I don't
I
know.
can send the link. Yeah.
Okay, you got some link. Okay, good, good. Thank you so much for that. All right. So, and then I also want to know why you're studying in Germany. Are there opportunities for part-time jobs or internship while you're still studying as a student in Germany?
Yeah, there are opportunities for part-time jobs. Yeah. And these opportunities could be also competitive depending on which field and also the location and if it requires German or not. But of course, there are opportunities that give you relevant experience which you can also put in your CV. And like me, when I was studying, I got the opportunity to work in a research institute. It's called Fraunhofer, and it was a very good opportunity. I remember my first interview, I had no job experience in Nigeria. I just finished fresh from youth service and then I went for my studies. So I didn't have any, apart from the ITs I did and youth service, I didn't have any subsistent job experience to talk about. So it was really difficult. I was only talking about my studies, my project, final year project, and all. And then when I got the first one, it was very helpful. And with that, when I go for the subsequent interviews, I had some. So there are jobs and apply for it and also prepare for the interview.
It's good to know that they are part-time jobs, but trust me, Nigerians, we don't play with part-time jobs. Definitely, because we always like to combine our studies with work. Definitely, that's for sure, because we've got some money to send back home. So that's for sure. So
I know.
we have to send money home. That is definitely, like, that one is not debatable. We're not debating that one at all. Like, bring that money, we send back home. You get so it's something that every Nigerian is really interested in, that part-time job while you're studying. Nobody wants to go and sit down there and read your book all through. No one wants to do that, because most times we had this money. Many of us will borrow the money from Africa or Nigeria. Family contribute the money, and we need to pay back. So somehow we have to find a way to replenish where this money came from. So this part-time job is very important for us. At the same time, we study while we're also doing the part-time job. This part is very important because by the time a student get done with studies in Germany, right, and definitely he or she does not want to return back to Nigeria. Okay, so what are the steps for staying in Germany after your studies is completed? Are there steps you need to follow? What are the procedures and stuff like that if you decide to remain in Germany after your studies?
I would advise someone looking for a job before they even complete their studies. So when you must have started your thesis and you finish all the administrative, maybe second or third month into your thesis, to start looking for full-time job if you want to stay here. So it's different looking for student job and part-time job or internship. It's a different ball game altogether when you're looking for full-time job. So you have to start early to buy yourself that time. So it's possible to transition directly from student study visa to full-time job visa. But if in the case you're not able to get a job and you complete your studies, then you have to switch to job search visa. Germany usually gives people a job search visa 18 months to look for a job, and within this time you should find a job. And if you're able to find a job, then you can get what it's called a EU blue card. So this enables you to work within the EU, and you also have some kind of stay. The job gives you also a stay.
Okay.
And directly from student job to this EU visa, or you can transition from student to job search visa to EU blue card.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And then, so they're going to give you 18 months after you graduate. So in that 18
Yes.
months, you have to look for a job. And then, now the kind of job, is it any job or it has to be related to what you study?
Oh, for you to get a blue card, actually, you have to find a job that is in your field of study. So relevant, a skilled professional job, I would say. So, and you also need there's a threshold of amount you need to earn, or salary, gross salary that you have to get. So for right now, I think it's 45,300 euros in a year, of course, in a year, before tax, gross salary. So you need to reach the threshold for you to get this blue card. And for some jobs that are scarce, or you have a shortage of people, then this threshold is reduced to 41,000 euros.
Okay. 41,000 euros. Okay.
So it's reduced.
So which means if you're going for a high class job, like a real professional job, the amount is higher. The amount you're expected to earn is higher. And if you are not really going for a very high profile job, the amount needed to extend your visa or your stay is lower. Am I correct?
For the EU card, you need to earn at least 45,300 to get this EU card. Okay. But if maybe the job, it's a job that has shortage of occupants, then it's reduced to 41,000.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay,
41,000 euros. Yes.
okay, perfect, good. Okay, that's good to know. So I also want to know because, in as much as you said, German language is important, but you can study in English even despite the fact that you're in Germany. Okay, how important is it to learn German for your career development in Germany? And what are the best ways to acquire these German skills?
Very important to learn German. You're living in Germany, you need it. You want us to learn it like your life depends on it. Knowing the language opens doors for you. It gives you an edge when you're looking for a job because it's very competitive out there. It gives you an edge when you can speak German, even if your job doesn't require German. Knowing the language helps you blend in, helps you to integrate into the society, helps you in your day-to-day activities, helps you to fit into your company, to understand the company culture better, to have relationship with your team members, like to fit into the team. And so it really does. And in Germany, we do a lot of documentation. So you get letters, you get lots of letters. You need to be able to understand what these letters mean. All these documentations and paper cramp, you need the language.
How about acquiring these skills, these German
How
skills?
to acquire, you need to embed yourself in the society. If you're in Germany, you already have an advantage than people outside of Germany learning German language. So you insist, try to speak, throw yourself out there, mix up with people, try to speak. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. German classes, take the opportunity in your German classes to speak it, no matter how bad it is. Your teacher is there to correct you. Try to speak, watch televisions, programs in German. You can start with watching your favorite movies or something that you already know. Watch it in German. Listen to podcasts, listen to radio. There is also this podcast that gives news, but it plays it slowly. So you can start, but you need to really learn. If you have, change your laptop to German, change your phone, but you need to live and breathe German.
Wow,
Take
wow,
opportunity to speak with people.
oh boy. Oh boy. Wow, that's awesome. Wow, that's
What
interesting.
I've seen a lot, it happens a lot of people go for classes and they tell you they have B1 German in paper, but they can't speak. They're afraid to speak, they're afraid to make mistakes. You shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. Speak. You can't go for interview and they ask you, so how is your German? You say you have B1. And they say, oh, you have B1, okay. Why don't we switch to German? Because B1 means conversational German. So you're able to, they don't want to switch the interview to German. And then you're telling them, no, I have it on paper, but you can't speak. That's why you need to speak.
Wow, that's interesting. I always thought about it for the fact that it's a German speaking country, definitely I wouldn't expect anything less. So, but there are different categories of German level. Can you enlist the categories and which of them, how important each of these categories are in the society, in the German society?
Yeah, so there is the A1, this basic level. There is A2, it's like, say, B1 is conversational level. So with B1, you're able to make day-to-day conversations, and also a bit more advanced than the A1. With B2, you're able to study in German, and you're also learning already some technical words in German. So it's more advanced. It's like business fluent. C1 and C2 are like advanced German. So this one is like the ones that when you're doing, so you're able to communicate on such high technical German, also like the lawyers, So this is really advanced, the C1, C2. Yeah.
Wow. The German language doesn't seem as difficult as people would say it. I don't think it's that difficult. Like compared to Finnish language, those are tough ones. And I noticed the German language is a little bit related. There are some things in common with English. There are some connections somehow. I don't know if I'm
Of course.
wrong.
Yeah, you're correct. English is a Germanic language, Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, English is Germanic language. So, lots of words in English are somehow related. Like when you say Mutter is mother, Vater is father. So, Sohn is son, Tochter is. So, there are really words that are kind of
Connected.
related. Garten is Garten. So
Wow.
there are lots of words that are actually related.
Wow. Doing your studying in the German, it seems you're baptized in German already. Oh my God, like God, Mutter, mother, my father, God, oh boy, like you're embedded in the German. Oh boy, I'm jealous already. Need to get that German learning too.
Come to
Wow.
Germany.
That's awesome. So, like from the way you've analyzed this German language already, it's very easy for my next question to be answered. So my next question is: how easy or difficult is it for international students to transit from student visa to work visa?
This depends on how easy it is for a person to get a job.
Mm.
And like I said, to transition, you need to get a job, correct? And right now, with the whole economic situation, it's not so easy. That's why one has to actually give his or herself an edge. You need to, during your student time, to gain relevant work experience that would help you and give you an edge when you're looking for a job. You need to know the language, you need to embed in the culture, make connections, so that you can also explore your network when you're looking. Once you have a job, it's quite easy. You get a job and you can easily transition, and the job has to meet up with the qualifications for blue card.
Okay, perfect. So I can say it's in between. It's not easy, it's not difficult, it's possible. So transit from your student visa status.
Everything is possible.
This is possible. That's true. That's true. Okay, good to know that. I just want to also know, like we're wrapping up right now, but then I want to know because I know you transited from Nigeria to Germany and as a student, and you did your masters in Germany. All right. So, are there some cultural shocks, some cultural shock that you experienced when you transited from Nigeria to Germany, and also what are the cultural shock an international student may be expecting by the time they move down from Nigeria to Germany?
Yes. So one is the time. There is 5 minutes, 4, 3, 2 minutes before the time the class is full. And 7 o'clock, the teacher is there and they're starting the lecture. So they don't come so much in time, but they come in.
Wow. No African man time.
So yeah, with the buses, then 1 minute and the bus is leaving. I'm like, God, you're going to run empty. Come. Don't you want to carry passenger? I didn't understand it. It doesn't matter if I pay for the bus ticket or not. I mean, he's not living on my ticket. He will run empty, but he has to be on
Has to
time.
be on time.
Yeah, there was a bit frustrating for me. Yeah, and also I think it was the second or my third day in Germany. I was passing around the hostel, so there were some people doing party, and they said, "Oh, would you want?" I was with a friend then, and we said, "Oh, I said I'll take only water." They gave me water. You're being invited because when they get there, it means together or separate. Everybody pays for themselves. You have to be prepared. Don't just go, "Oh, my friend invited me. Let me go eat." Carry your wallet. So please, carry your wallet so you don't.
You will watch play tire.
No, you have to pay. So people pay for themselves, except they exclusively say, "Okay, don't worry, I pay for you." But usually, everyone pays for themselves.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And one more thing: public holidays and Sundays here, no shops are open.
That's
Everything
different.
is closed.
Wow. On Sundays, right?
Everything. No, there are no shops open on.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe in the airport or train stations, you might be able to find a few shops that are open, but general in the street open.
No. Wow.
Friday is public holiday and Monday is public holiday, and you forgot, you did not go shopping, then you will not eat till Tuesday.
Oh boy. Oh, that's so different from the US. The US on Sundays we are open 24/7. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we are open 24/7 in the US. Wow, kind of different. Like Thanksgiving that we just finished now, they were not open. But then on Christmas Day, they are open. So it all depends on the kind of holiday. Miss reaction in terms of the public holiday. So some obey it, some don't. So the rule is I think it's not really too strict in terms of what you want. So I believe the guys or the people, the owner of the business, open when they want. I think so. But there are some core holidays, maybe most likely like I think maybe election day. Even election day is not even public holiday, from what I also found out. So it's really funny somehow. It's weird somehow. They're always open. They're always working. Right? It's kind of different from the German system, but it's also good to know. So
Speaking of holidays, We have like all the Christian holidays are holidays here. Let me just say, almost all the Christian holidays are holidays, and I love it.
Of course, I would love
Thank you
it.
for
I would like to find out
yeah.
before we wrap up today, what advice do you have for Nigerian students that may want to move from Nigeria to Germany for studies, either bachelor's or master's? Any advice for them?
Yeah, so one, you should have a plan and work progressively towards this plan. Okay. When you come in here, look at your study plan, your the whole studies, and choose when do you want to study what, which semester do you want to study what. Make already plan helps you. One, it's possible you can't take that course anymore. You have to wait for 1 year because some are offered only in summer semester or only in winter semester, and then you have to wait 1 year to do that. Okay, so it's always good to have a plan and focus on your studies. Expectations are very high and they might be different from what we are used to in Nigeria or whichever country you are. People fail out of master studies or bachelor studies here. So it's not a just you have to really be focused on your studies. And there is this high expectation of independent self-study. You have to prepare in advance for your lectures to be able to get the maximum from the lectures. And afterwards, you go back and review. Don't go to classes without going through the lectures you have. Very, very important. I cried after first week in Germany. I came back, I was like, what? I felt like one Olodo, so to say. I couldn't understand anything, but I had to now plan and started preparing for the lectures in advance, and it made, I would say, prepared for you. Then gain relevant job experience because this will be very helpful when you're transitioning from student visa to getting a permanent job. Important, learn German as if your life depends on it. Because it does. Least but not the last. Don't forget to include fun and relaxing time during your stay.
Right, that's very important. A
That's
lot of Nigerians fall into
yeah.
that trap of just focusing on hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle, and we forget about the fact that body system needs some relaxation. We need some calmness. We just carried away by, we need to pay some bills back home in Nigeria. We need to pay this, we need to do that, we need to do that. In the end, we forget ourselves. Yeah, that's very important. The take-home information today majorly is based on the fact that the German system has some scholarship, which you mentioned, the DAAD and other scholarship, and also the tuition-free opportunities, which you also mentioned. And amongst that, the most important part of today's meeting is the fact that there's an opportunity for that finance, that required finance, to be waived and then replaced with someone vouching for you. Oh my God, that is great. That's an awesome news for someone to vouch for me. So which means if I have an uncle in US or even in Germany or whatever, they can vouch for me as long as they meet with the requirement, a sponsor or kind of like as a sponsor of someone. So that is also important because that 11,000 something, hey, no, I don't think I'll be able to afford that money, being in Nigeria. I can't. Okay. So, but for the fact that I have an uncle, I have an auntie, I have someone that is abroad that can vouch for me, then that money will be waived. Wow. And that information is epic. I'm so happy about that information. And that is exactly the part that many of us don't really know about. Many of us are just looking at the block amount, and we have uncles and aunties everywhere around the world. So they can also make that try and also do that for us on our behalf. Thank you so much, Nkiru. I really want to appreciate the fact that you joined us today. You really gave us a lot of information. So you say you're going to send me those links. I'm going to share the link with them. So, but I want to thank you, Nkiru, for this time you spent with us. We appreciate you. Over there is like 7 o'clock right now, 7:05 or so, right? 7:05, am I correct? 7:05. Yeah. I think I'm getting it right now. Thank you so much. I really want to appreciate you and catch you later. Bye.